Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. Good morning, good morning. It's the Last Minute Laura show. Good morning, good morning. Hello, hi everybody. Welcome back to another morning with me, Laura, the Last Minute Laura morning show. That's not the right one. Last Minute Laura morning show. Something like that anyway. Good morning everybody. How are you doing this morning? For those of you that are new, this is the Last Minute Laura morning show. We get together every single morning. Oh, that is not a flattering position. Let's try again. Crossed leg is not the way to go for this dress. Anyway, we get together every morning from 8 a.m. Eastern until 9:30 a.m. Eastern. We start our day, we have some tea, we do some chit-chatting, and sometimes we work on some crafty projects. Yeah, if you like that kind of stuff, subscribe, join us, because it's a fun time. We get a lot of good conversations going here, so definitely worth joining. What else have I got to say? Oh yeah, don't forget to like the video. It really does help the channel, so please do hit that like button. It really does help, and I'd really appreciate it. Since you're here anyway, you might as well click the like button. And if you like to support YouTubers and YouTube channels and things of that nature, I do have a Patreon, and I would love for you to join it if that is something that you feel interested in. If it's not, no pressure at all. Please do not feel obligated in any way. But if you are someone who likes to support creators via Patreon, I do have one, and the link is in the description. One last announcement. For those of you who like to connect outside of the live stream, we do have a Discord server. So you can join the Discord server. There's a link in the description. Basically, you click the link, it brings you to something it's kind of like a chat room. If you don't know what Discord is, it's kind of like a hybrid MSN Messenger. Like, everybody can chat in the chat room the same way that we can during the live stream, but we can do it outside of the live stream. It's organized by topics, so if you have a sewing question, you can ask it in the sewing question, like, chat room. And we've got a whole bunch of them going now, and it's all within the one server. And yeah, it's a great way to connect. You can upload photos, you can even upload videos, you can help each other out with projects, you can ask me questions. Lots in there, so definitely worth checking out if that sounds like it's up your alley. So there's all my announcements. Let me see who's in the chat this morning so I can say hello. Candace, good morning. Oh, you fine today, Laura. Thank you very much. I showered, I washed my hair. If you can tell, it's clean, which for my hair is not an often thing, but thank you. And I got it at Sears when Sears was still a thing. I think I paid $17 for it, so thank you. I think that maybe there's a little bit much in the sewing to remind everyone where my chest is, but I think otherwise it's a beautiful dress. Good morning, Dave. Nice to see you. That dress looks fab. Laura scrubs up well every day. Just for you guys. Literally, it's for you. And then when I see Alex, I'm like, no, it's for you, Alex. It's for you. Sid, good morning. And Dina, good morning. Nice to have you this morning. Katina, good morning. Good morning, sunshines. Nice to see you. And Beth is here. Good morning, Beth. Alcy, good morning. Nice to see you this morning. And does everyone have their snack, drink, or meal? I have my drink. I'm ready to go. Nancy, good morning. Nice to have you this morning. And Claire, good morning. A lovely warm day in the UK. That's awesome. Here it is a lovely, cool, going to be warm. It's going up to 23 degrees Celsius. For the last several days, it's been going into the 30s with the humidity. So it's going to be a beautiful day. When I let the chickens out this morning, I was wearing this, and I was a little chilly. So that was nice. I mean, the sun was out, so I wasn't like chilly, but I was like, if I was going out in public, I'd probably bring a cardigan or something. Perhaps the Fancy Nancy cardigan. Anyway, Claire, good morning. Yes, and Sid, the dress is too dang cute. Thank you. Good morning, Karen. Nice to see you this morning. And love your outfit. Thank you, Dina. Laura, you couldn't give us a quick spin, I suppose. I had to modify it a little bit because my chest has shrunk since I purchased this dress. How long ago was Amanda's wedding?
Oh geez, 2016 maybe?
2016? Okay, so since 2016, my chest has shrunk, so I had to add a little gather here. So then to match it, I added a little bow in the back. But it's like fake denim. So it looks like denim, but it doesn't sit like denim. I'm thinking that this would be a really fun project to do some embroidery on. Because I really don't like these seams that look, they make it look a very out of proportion in my opinion. But I think if I covered it with some like floral embroidery, that might work. So that's something I was thinking. And removing these straps and doing something maybe a little bit more, I don't know, a little thicker maybe. I don't know about the spaghetti straps. So I do like the dress. I wore it to a wedding. It was I had to wear denim. It was a rule. So it's not like I went casual because I felt like it. I went casual because it was part of the wedding's rule. But either way, I think that would be a fun project coming up. You know, I love the bows, both sides. Yeah, I like bows too. I find that they are a good way to just cover up ugly stitching. If you have to stitch something like this, I had to stitch it like tighter this morning, and then I was like, what do I do? I was putting on my brooches and seeing if they looked okay, but they didn't. They looked like they were trying to cover something, whereas a bow looks like you can believe it's part of it. You know what I'm saying? Dave, I second that. Oh, you guys are cute. That sounds like a great connecting platform and community. It definitely is a great connecting platform, and it is a really nice community because it's all of us. Everybody who's in the live chat, most of us are already over there on the Discord as well. And if you're not, it's definitely a great place to join. Good morning, Lori. Good morning, Jenna. Nice to see both of you this morning. Or I suppose good afternoon, Jenna. So, as we just chit-chat this morning, I'm going to continue working on my little pride headband. This might end up being also able to be used as a little pride belt. So we shall see how it goes, but I am doing a simple double crochet rectangle, and the edges of this long rectangle are going to have like tapered edges, so it's going to be like a big long piece of ribbon kind of. Part of me kind of wishes that I did it in single crochet because I think that it would have looked really cool and I would have been able to have more colors close together, but I'm honestly, I'm kind of okay with this too. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, good. Just making sure, don't want to add up extra stitches. Is the denim cool and comfortable in this heat? I sweat to when wearing jeans in sunshine. I'm almost exclusively wearing jeans when I'm outside. Like, I've only started wearing shorts within the last like year and a half. Before that, I wasn't ever wearing shorts. I was always wearing like skinny jeans outside because I don't love my legs. I've gotten over that, obviously, because this year I'm wearing dresses all the time and shorts when it's hot. But this isn't denim. It's like fake denim. It's like a very soft, like you can see, it's not the thickness of denim. It's a thin one. So this morning I let the girls out. I got up at 5, which was awesome. I don't know why I woke up at the alarm and I was like, you know what? I'm not hitting the snooze. Today's the day. I'm getting up. So I got up. I immediately took my ADD meds, which is why I'm feeling very put together right now. I'm feeling like I'm holding it together. Usually I take my ADD meds like right before the stream. TMI, I'm just whatever. But I took them at 5 this morning, so I am like fully centered. I'm not super scattered right now, which is awesome. It also means that I'll be able to be productive right after the stream as opposed to like needing a little bit more time. But what was I saying? I woke up, I took a shower, 1, 2, and then I let the girls out, had a little bit of time outside with them, and then what else did I do? Tidied up the kitchen, I tidied up my workspace. What else? I did some other little, are you dead too? Are you serious? Maddie the flower, why are you trying to upset me so much? Sorry, another one of the leaves just rotted off of my tiny begonia. My tiny begonia named Maddie. Now it has 1 leaf, so it's officially a baby begonia again. So disappointing. Oh, what did Sid do? Head count there. Oh, when I let the girls out, I did do a head count before I put them to bed, but I didn't do a head count this morning. I guess I could have. Sid, well, I'm way overheated, but I've got 5 weeks of laundry to put away. Oh my goodness, my linen sheets on my bed, yes, and my dirty sheets into the wash. We're finally getting a rainy day, so my brain is like clean. Relatable, absolutely. I have 2 methods on a rainy day, Sid. One is stay in bed all day, watch movies, and eat snacks, and 2 is clean the entirety of the house. I feel the same on cold days whenever it gets like today, well, it's not cold, but I mean like if it was getting only to 20 degrees instead of 23, which is what the high is here today, if it was only going to get to 20 degrees Celsius, I'd probably be like, open all the windows! Alex, go out for a drive. I'm sweeping and vacuuming, because he's allergic to the dust. Ooh, I got a baby begonia yesterday. Really? What color did you get, Lori? And Dave, oh yes, when you picked up the lower dress just then, I could see how thin the material is. Clever stuff, and I love the headband you're working on. Could work well as both a headband and a dress belt. I agree, that's what I think too, is that it'll make a good dress belt. If I'm wearing like a black dress for a, well, I wouldn't wear a black dress for a pride event, but you know what I mean. It could go for a pride thing. Also, it could be a strap for a bag, which would be fun. Hey everyone, hope everyone's well. Hi Amber, good morning. I'm doing well, thank you. Hope you're doing well as well. And Tracy, good morning. Nice to see you this morning. So what kind of begonia is it, Lori? Do you know? Is it a begonia Rex? I went to a hardware store with Alex yesterday, and you know what we purchased? We purchased Critter Ritter. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but it's basically a spray, and I don't know what it has in it because it's not food and it's not for people, so they don't have to put ingredients on it. What? But it's basically a repellent spray for coyotes and raccoons and skunks and what else was on there? Voles and shrews and, oh, there was a whole lot, porcupines and, what else was on there? Oh, rabbits, deer, squirrels. I don't know how they found something that all of those animals don't like. Part of me has like a theory that it's just like really bitter or yucky tasting so that when they come across it, they're like, yuck, you know? Because what my mom does for her, what is it called? Cabbage beetles, I think, or cabbage worms, something like that. Something's eating her cabbage, and what she uses is basically she boils like really hot peppers, and like there's like a recipe where it's like you boil a whole bunch of spicy things and like onions and garlic and things that animals don't like, and then you simmer it down until it's concentrated and put it in a spray bottle, and it doesn't damage your plants, but it does not allow pests to enjoy their time if they come across it. I'm thinking it's probably something like that, you know? Lori, it's a begonia Rex. Ooh, cute. And I also got a Pan Am or Piles involucrata? Is it Pilea involucrata? And how does that stuff not work on pissing off chickens? Well, apparently it doesn't affect them. I looked online, it's like a hot pepper mix. That makes sense, right? I feel like it would be like a hot pepper mix. I've got a kind of vacay from work, so I'm like probably gonna redo my whole room. I'm excited, which is weird because I usually hate changing my space. Ooh, fun. I think it'll be fun changing your space when you're like stuck around anyway. Like there's not a ton to do otherwise, you know? How does it not work on pissing off the chickens? I didn't put it anywhere where the chickens have access. So I sprayed down it said to spray, the best surfaces are wood and plants for it to accept into. So I sprayed down all the trees that they come down, and then I sprayed the plants around, not the grass or anything because that wasn't worth it, but we have stumps laying down all the way around the outer perimeter of the chicken fence, mainly because I think it looks cute, but I'm sure that it is also helpful in some way. But I sprayed those logs, so hopefully it's gonna keep the chickens safe. Ooh, really, birds don't taste hot. That's interesting. Yes, Pilea. Okay, perfect. Thanks, Nancy. And what did Beth do? I'm having new flooring put in, Beth said, in the living room, and a new sofa next week. Oh, that'll be so fresh and clean feeling. New flooring can like change the entire space. Like if I need a new energy to a whole room, I would go with like just get an area rug if you don't have the budget to actually like get a new floor and put an area rug on something. It just fixes it. Like our floors are tile, but in the bedrooms they're hardwood. And it's like, hardwood's beautiful, don't get me wrong, but I don't want to walk on it right when I wake up. I want to get off onto like a nice soft floor. So we put an area rug under the bed and it makes it look so much fancier. I'm sure I've seen one which big cat we... No, Amber, absolutely, that's totally true. Hot pepper suet for birds. It's supposed to deter squirrels. That's smart, Lori. And also, Amber, I've seen that too. I've also seen coyote urine, which keeps away deer. So if you have like deer in your garden, you can spray coyote urine and they'll stay away. The weird thing is though, when I looked online, it said spraying coyote urine attracts coyotes, which, I mean, your garden won't be damaged, but now you've got coyotes, which I don't know that I would want to invite to my space. Another thing I heard is adult male human urine can do it for the coyotes, 1 and 2, which is weird. But also, I mean, sure. I mean, I'm not going to ask Alex to pee all over our yard because we don't have the coyote problem and we had that spray, so we're good. But I read that somewhere, some blog, same place that said the coyote pee brings coyotes. I thought so. I thought I might have been dreaming though. No, it's a thing. Maybe there's some poo in it and the flies like it. Oh, hold on. I got a snake plant in the bedroom. It seems to be attracting swarms of flies, albeit more around the light than the plant. Well, are they itty bitty flies, Dave? Because if they're itty bitty flies, they could be fungus gnats. And if they're fungus gnats, then you just have to not water that plant for a long time and they'll stop existing. Additionally, you can sprinkle the top of the soil of the plant with cinnamon. And if you sprinkle the top of the soil of the plant with cinnamon, they don't like that and they leave. That would be my guess, is that it's fungus gnats and not actual flies. If it's flies like house flies, that doesn't make sense to me. And I would agree with Candace that maybe more fertilizer was used that was poop based, and now you've got poop fertilizer in your plant. But chickens are good as hot wings, so no wonder they like it. Yeah, no wonder it doesn't upset them. They taste so good when spicy. Here's a weird question. Do you think if you fed a chicken food that was super spicy all the time, like let's say every like bag of chicken food you include like peppercorns and like, I don't know how you'd get dried hot sauce, but something like that, where they're always eating spicy food, do you think the meat would end up tasting spicy? Or is that completely not a thing? I feel like, I don't know. Because you know when you eat spicy food, like, I don't know, when you eat really spicy food, or when you eat really fragrant food, it's like, it's on you. I mean, it might just actually physically be on you, but I feel like I sweat food, you know? So would it end up in my meat too? My chicken's meat, I mean. You're totally right about hard floor in the morning, Laura, or last thing at night before getting on the bed. I prefer carpet, even though it's a nightmare to keep totally clean. It is, but I don't like getting into bed and realizing that the floor was dirty. Does that make sense? Like, when you are getting into bed on a hardwood floor, it's like you have to do that right before bed. Even if you're a clean person, it still doesn't. I don't like that feeling. So I like having a carpet because then you get into bed with nice, soft, clean feet. And yeah, anyway. I usually just sprinkle cinnamon on porridge, but I'll give it a go on plants. Might as well. What do you mean itty bitty flies, Laura? Like fruit flies, like little tiny fruit flies. If they're little ones, little fruit flies, they're probably not flies, they're probably fungus gnats. And what they do is they burrow into the soil, lay their eggs in there, and they feed on the fungus that forms in the soil and on top of it because you've overwatered. So if you water your plants, it doesn't only mean overwatered. If you water your plants and can make some fungus grow on the soil, and it might be visible as like white, just like almost like frost on top of your soil, and that would be fungus, and cinnamon helps to stop that from happening as well. So in the worst of worst case scenarios and you can't get them to go away, it's because the life cycle hasn't been stopped. Like the eggs are still in there, they're still hatching, like you can't stop that life cycle. There's two options. One, change the soil, and two, mix hydrogen peroxide, like 1 part hydrogen peroxide, 4 parts water, and mix that up and then pour it through your plant, and then collect it underneath the plant, pour it through the plant again, and then after like 5 or 10 minutes, do the same thing but with just straight water, and that'll kill them, and that won't kill your plant. They're about that size, slightly green. Cinnamon it is, yes. Cinnamon is the first easy fix. Cinnamon, and stop watering it. Your snake plant doesn't need to be watered for a month. Like, honestly, if it's got fungus gnats, it's way too wet for that plant. Leave it alone. Put it in a corner and forget about it for a month. Put an alarm on your phone for 1 month. Water the snake plant. If you miss it for a month, it's not gonna die. It's just gonna like wilt a little, like it'll get a soft a little. Hanimus is here, good morning. Oh, good afternoon. Spicy food would make the eggs red. You think so? For real? Could I spice my own eggs? Interesting. That would be so weird. That'd be so cool. Now I'm like, I want to like manipulate the eggs. 1 and 2. Let me see how many I'm at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ooh, I'm on the last row. What? Did I do this wrong? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ugh, stupid. So I did 13, 12, 11. 1, 2, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I guess we're gonna do 10s starting now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, now it's time to change to the other blue. Anyway, I think it was watered before delivery. That makes sense. They usually come way wetter than they need to because they don't want it to dry out. That pepper mix, do you spray it on the leaves? Jenna, yes, my mom sprayed it on the whole cabbage plant. And I mean, I don't know yet. I'm sure it like works because my mom is a scientist when it comes to plants. Laura is a great teacher at so many subjects, LOL. Sometimes. Jenna, good plant advice there, Duty, thanks. Who knew cinnamon? Isn't that interesting? See, you can teach old dogs new tricks. LOL. Well, today, friends, is actually going to be a big filming day. I'm going to be filming a couple of videos. The plan is to pretty much be filming all day, so that's a good thing. And then next week, because my project will be submitted next week, or it'll be submitted this weekend, I'll be able to start editing videos for the channel again, which is good because, hello, that's why we're here. So I'm going to be editing, okay, these are the videos I have to edit that will be filmed in time. Like next week, they'll already have been filmed. Wow, great words, Laura. Video number 1, avocado dye. I've already filmed the whole thing. I just need to edit that together, but I haven't because I've been working on the onion skin one. I also have the vest, which is, I think the pattern is done. So I'm gonna film at least my like medium, the version that I made. I'm gonna film that, and then I'll just include instructions that are like correct to the pattern. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm an old doggo. No! Laura's got her mother's teaching skills in there for sure, which is funny because I literally don't think that I could, like, every time I think of it, like, the idea of being a teacher sounds lovely. Like, all of the perks of being a teacher sound lovely, but all of the like teaching parts sound very stressful to me. I feel like I would become way too invested in each of the students. Like I know you do as a teacher, like my sister is totally invested in her students, but I mean like I would be like the person who would like get very down when a student was not succeeding, you know what I mean? I don't think I'd be able to handle the bad times as a teacher. And I feel like teachers get to see a lot of crap, you know? Like teachers end up being counselors, secondary parents, like it's like a lot. I'll just teach you guys crochet stuff, okay? Is that cool if we just like play crafty things together? And other than that, we just chit chat and hang out. I feel like that's better. But I'm very excited to film a crochet tutorial. I haven't filmed a crochet tutorial in, it's gotta be 2 months since I filmed a sit down overhead shot. Hey friends, welcome back to another video, like a crochet video. So I'm really looking forward to it, like more than I thought I would. Like this morning when I was getting ready, I was like, I have to paint my nails. And then I didn't because I couldn't find any nail polish remover. But I wanted to. So that helps. But I did my makeup and I like blow dried my hair and I wore well, I wear dresses anyway. But anyway, I was feeling very like, dun, 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 like very excited to sit down and film something. I just haven't, and I just want to. I mean, like, it's crazy because I've been filming, I just haven't been editing, and I have like all of this beautiful equipment that I want to showcase in actual edited videos that are for the channel, because that's like my life is the channel, you know what I mean? So it's coming back, it's coming back. There's a chance that I might have to cut back some of the afternoon streams coming up soon, and I don't know for sure. Alex and I were just kind of talking about it yesterday and wondering if the afternoon stream is affecting my productivity at all, because I was thinking about how I want to be filming. And you know, do you file your nails, Laura? Yeah, I do file them. If I don't file them, I end up picking at them with my like other nails. I'm not so much a nail biter as I am a nail picker. It's like an anxiety thing. I'll just sit there and it starts as like cleaning underneath your fingernails, you know what I mean? Except for it ends up getting like to a point where I rip them off. Good morning, Sandy. Nice to see you this morning. I didn't get as much done last night as I wanted, but so far the size I'm doing is looking good. Okay, good, Sid. Question about the diagram, Sid says. Can you just confirm what the scale of the grid is? I just want to make sure I counted right for how many stitches I should have when I stop. So the scale, it's 9 squares by 9 squares on my paper, which is 9 rows by 20 stitches. So that scale, it's irritating because I want it to be 10 by 10, but it's 9 rows, and I was trying to get the row number right. But it's 9 stitches, 9 rows by 20 stitches is what that square is. I tried to add it into the picture as just a square. So yeah, 9 by 20. 20 stitches by 9 rows is 4 inches by 4 inches. So that's how I was building it. But I did it on a grid, so I did 9 by 9 because I wanted the rows to be correct. So there's that. So I'm going to be filming, which I'm excited about. I'm also, there's 2 zucchinis on my zucchini plant. They're definitely not ready to harvest or anything, but probably next week I'm going to have zucchinis coming in probably almost daily now, because like as soon as zucchini plants start producing, they don't stop until they die. And isn't that the way it is for all of us? As soon as we start to produce, we don't stop until we die. Whatever production means to you. Sid, okay, awesome. And yes, it's easy to fiddle with the nails and even dry skin. I know. Do you use an emery board, metal, or glass? And what about everyone else? I use whatever I have on hand. Right now I have emery boards and a metal one. I used to have a glass one, but I don't remember what happened to it. So I know apparently the glass ones are supposed to be the best because they don't blah blah blah, I don't know. But I don't care that much. It's more about what What's zucchini? Zucchini is, does it have another name that British people call it, like eggplant and aubergine? Aubergine, yeah. No, zucchini is a squash. It's not. It's like a long, it looks kind of cucumbery. It's not good eaten raw, but cooked, it's like really good in stir fries. How would you describe a zucchini? Thank you, Candace. It's like a yellow summer squash, but it's soft. It's a yellow summer squash that's soft. You can eat the peels. Like, both look the same, one yellow, one green. Zucchini is green on the outside. Right, my zucchini is yellow on the outside because it's the one that the store had, because they only had yellow, and I was like, well, I want zucchini, so yellow it is. It's a soft squash, but you don't need to peel it. Ooh, courgette. Anyway, cool, it has another name. Didn't know. Sorry about the skipping if we're getting any frames dropped, because I keep getting red on my internet thing on the stream, so if it's not doing well, sorry. Marrow, really? I use an emery file. I have glass, but they give me even worse sensory hell for some reason. I get that, Sid. It's like when you're scratching the bottom of a terracotta pot. The same energy. I totally get it. I was thinking courgette. Oh, you don't like them? Well, you've been doing something wrong, because they are lovely. That being said, though, I really like a lot of vegetables. Like I love Brussels sprouts, I love green beans, I love broccoli, all the ones that people, and spinach, all the ones that people are like, I don't like any of that. Okay, spinach, I like the qualities of spinach. I don't like eating spinach. I don't like eating spinach raw in a salad, but I'll eat it cooked in anything. But yeah, I love zucchinis. I love all the vegetables that you can grow in the summer, because my mom always grew all the vegetables you can grow in the summer. Oh, we also went to the feed store yesterday. Also, my dad found his N95 mask box that was open, so he couldn't donate it. And he gave Alex and I 2 N95 masks. So now when I wear a mask, I can talk. I'm not gonna lie, I was thinking I want to wear my fabric mask on top of the N95, because I don't want people to look at me and be like, you're stealing from the front line. You know what I mean? But they can't be donated, so I can't stand leaks either. I've never had leaks in a way that I could identify there was leaks, except like leek and potato soup, or potato and leek soup, but you can't tell that there's leek in there specifically. It's just an onion to me, isn't it? I love zucchini summer squash in chili. Ooh, I also enjoy eating raw slices too. I don't like the raw slices. I find there is some weird, like, what would I call it? Not sap, like a latex that comes out. You know, like when you cut a cucumber, it like bleeds for a minute. Well, zucchini does that too, and if you eat it straight, it has a weird mouthfeel, kind of like how a banana peel dries your mouth out. Maybe there's like an astringent quality to it, but it's not bitter or anything. It's just kind of not a great mouthfeel to me. So I think I could eat raw zucchini if maybe I covered it in salt for 5 minutes and then rinsed it off. I think then it might be okay, because cucumbers, if you have a bitter cucumber or a cucumber with a lot of that astringent sort of latex coming out of it, just rub salt on one side and it draws all of that out, and then you slice it up and it's good. Yeah, raw, I don't know. Weird. Now I know what I forgot to get from the supermarket this morning. Brussels sprouts. Thanks for the reminder, Laura. I'll get some tomorrow. Brussels sprouts are the best, aren't they, Beth? I love them. I love them. It's like tiny cabbage. You can eat because cabbage is so inconveniently large, honestly. Like, it's just very large. And I can't use an entire head of cabbage all at once. If I'm making coleslaw, have you ever made coleslaw? If you slice cabbage and you have a whole head of cabbage, like if you try and slice a whole head of cabbage, I'm saying it's huge. Are you washing your zucchini? That's usually a skin thing. Well, of course, yes, I wash my zucchini. I wash all of my produce that I purchase. I don't think I'll be washing my zucchini that I get out of the garden unless there's like actual dirt on it, because I'm like, the minerals and blah are probably good for me. But yeah, maybe it's a skin thing, but I don't know. I always just add salt. Like, I'll remove the salt after, but salt draws out things, like it draws out liquid, and it helps with bitterness in most vegetables. If you have a vegetable that's super bitter, just put salt on it and then wash the salt off. The salt will draw out the bitterness, which is super cool. Yes, they are, Laura. I love Brussels sprouts. I need cabbage too. Thanks for another reminder. I love cabbage in boiled dinners. I love cabbage in coleslaw, and I love cabbage in this super weird Russian salad Alex's mom makes. It's basically shredded cabbage, and you cook it in a pan. Like, you cook it in a pan with a little bit of oil. And then you have probably like half a cabbage shredded really fine, and then like half of a carrot or 1 carrot grated, and you cook that together, and then you add about 1/3 of a cup of ketchup. Weird, but delicious. And you cook that all together, and it's like this amazing, I don't know what you'd call it. To me, I think she calls it a salad. It's like a hot salad. It's very yummy. And bizarrely yummy. Like, the first time I ate it, I was like, I love this. And then when I found out what was in it, I was like, why do I love this? Oh, thank you, Thor. Except for, that is fine as far as comments on my appearance. Thank you. This Christmas, I'll try pickling sprouts. Ooh, pickled cabbage is delicious, as I was saying the other day. Pickled cabbage, huh? I mean, is it different than, I almost said kombucha, different than, what am I thinking, kimchi? Is kimchi not pickled cabbage, just with spices? Candace, fried cabbage with bacon and its grease and onions, and add some taters. Honestly though, Candace, how many things can you, thank you, Candace, how many things can you fry in bacon fat and with bacon that turn out disgusting? You know, like how many? Because I don't know very many things that I could say, like, let's fry it with bacon and bacon fat and have it be like, oh, this is no good. You know one thing that I don't like with bacon? Shrimp. You know how they do bacon wrapped shrimp and bacon wrapped scallops? For me, it feels like a waste, because scallops are so sweet and buttery and delicious. And then when you add bacon, it takes away everything that is good. Like, bacon's good, but you know? Maddie, good morning, Maddie. Kimchi can be done with a variety of veggies as far as I've heard. Oh, okay, Sid. But the base veggie in kimchi is like cabbage, isn't it? Or like cabbage that has the green, maybe bok choy? I'm trying to look at like what it looks like in my head. There's always like dark leafy green on it too. I think it's bok choy maybe. Anyway, bok choy is also amazing. Amazing, all very delicious and pretty healthy. No, smoky meat and seafood, no thanks. It just doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, no, it doesn't make sense because it takes all the delicious flavor of the fish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, I'm already done. 10, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, I'm already done. Yeah. Time to move on to purple. I think we're gonna finish this morning, which is always a good feeling. Getting a project done. It's gonna make me feel productive by having a project finished, even though it's like a little project. Isn't that the case? You know, make your bed and fluff your pillows and tell me it doesn't start your day in a good way, because you're lying. It always starts your day in a good way. If you make your bed and fluff up the pillows and make it look like a hotel room bed, you're gonna feel like you accomplished something before you even get out of your bedroom in the morning. You know who told me that? John Tesh. Does anyone know who John Tesh is? He's a radio show host who hosts the, I don't know what show, K-Light FM probably, like the light easy rock, not easy rock, like easy pop, like Michael Bublé and lighter. What are you building there, Laura? Sandy, I am making a pride, well, it was supposed to be a pride headband. It's now a little bit longer than it needs to be, so it's like a pride, it'll still be a headband for me. It's gonna be a pride headband. It may also end up being a pride belt or a pride shoulder strap for a bag. Jenna, my daughter was like, when my daughter was little, my mom told her they were baby cabbages. My daughter looked at her quite seriously and said, "They're sprouts, Nan." Oh. My dad still says they're like baby cabbages, but he doesn't like cabbage, so for him, he's like, meh, why do I want to eat Brussels sprouts? My mom and I love Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts. Also, fun fact, it's not Brussels sprouts, it's Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts. I wonder if it has to do with where they were developed. Why don't we do a little check? Where Brussels sprouts. I can't listen to Tesh anymore. He spreads shocking amount of misinformation and pseudoscience, and it makes me sad. Oh, yeah, Sid, I don't listen to him. This is when I was working at Wendy's. I worked at Wendy's when I was like 14 and 15 years old. 14 and 15? I think it was like 2 years. Because they were the only place that would hire me at 14. So 14, 15, I worked at Wendy's, and I would work, and 16, because I was already on the rowing team. So 14, 15, 16, I worked at Wendy's, and they were open until 3 a.m. And since I went to rowing, I couldn't do, there was something like I couldn't do early or something. Like I was at school, but I would work there from like 6 p.m. until 3 a.m., something like that. And John Tesh was the only thing that was on. And I would be like vacuuming the floors inside of the store Wendy's that I worked at. And it would be the only thing that was on. And I like remember all of those stupid fun facts, like try switching your hands when you're brushing your teeth. And also that one that I just said, what was it that John Tesh told me? I already forget what he said. See how important it is in my brain. Okay, hold on. Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts. Let's see what... Oh, Brussels sprout, sorry. The Brussels sprout is a member of the Gemifera group of cabbages grown for its edible buds. The leafy vegetables are typically 1.5 to 4 centimeters in diameter and look like miniature cabbages. The Brussels sprout has been long been popular in Brussels, Belgium, and may have gained its name there. It's part of the Brassica family. Dave has been popular in Oh, fine, everybody. Everybody Google it at once. Yikes, OMG, the mood, though, when there's only one station on. That mood, though, when there's... Yeah, the frustrating thing is that in the back, when you're working in the back, you can listen to whatever music you want. Like, they would be... At night, we would just play music. But in the front, which is where I always had to work, like I was a cashier, it was always, "Welcome to the John Tesh radio show." And he's just talking. Like, I mean, let's be honest, that's what I'm doing, is I'm just talking and giving you information that I think is true. But at the same time, his voice was just droning on all the time. But some of those fun facts, people. So they are baby cabbage, essentially. Yeah. And what am I building? Oh, I already read that one. What am I building is a pride thing. A thing for pride. Because it's June, and I didn't have time to film anything for Pride, and June is almost over, and I feel guilty about my lack of filming in the last 3 months, so I wanted to crochet something that I could complete fairly quickly. Oh, it's the bed making thing. That's what it was. Make yourself feel productive by making the bed. It can change the entire outcome of your day. Oh, I was telling you, we went to the feed store. Sorry, I was telling you because of the N95, I got distracted. We went to the feed store, or the Tractor Supply. It's like the country store. So we went in there with our N95 masks on, very fancy, 1 and 2, and everybody in there was wearing a mask, which is good. And we picked up 50 kilograms, 25 kilograms. I think we picked up 50 kilograms total of feed. So we got 25 kilograms of cracked corn and 25 kilograms of layer chicken feed. Both organic, because why not? You know, let's just keep the chickens organic, because Why do we need to have non-organic things to feed to them? I feel like they're chickens. They'll eat anything, but it was the same price, so why not? Sandy, evidently my head is shaped in a strange way. I cannot keep headbands on. They slide up off the back of my head every time. Yeah, I find that to be a very irritating thing. Sandy, try a wider headband. If you go with a wider headband that ties up at the top, you know, like even one of those bandanas, the triangle ones, try something like that. If it's a little bit wider, you might find that it helps. I have always wondered where crumble got its name from. Apple crumble. Isn't it because of the crumble you crumble the topping on? Right? Apple crumble is just upside down pie, right? Because instead of putting the stuff on the bottom, you just sprinkle it on top. Or you crumble it on top. Exactly. My head... Oh, evidently I read that already. Sorry. So yeah, we went to the feed store, got feed this morning. Because I didn't feed the girls yesterday because the day before they knocked over, I filled all of their food bowls all the way to the top and they flipped over everything. I don't know how, but they like actively flipped over all of them. So there was food all over the ground. And I mean, they're chickens. They eat all of the kitchen scraps off the ground. So I was like, I'm not feeding you. And then last night, the raccoons didn't come. So the feed was still, not last night, the night before, the raccoons didn't eat the feed. So anyway, they ate it all off the ground. Yesterday, so their feed bowls were empty this morning, so I filled up their water and I filled up their feed bowl and I mixed cracked corn into their layer feed, and oh my god, the girls, they loved it. They were so excited, following me around. Even Poppy let me touch her. Like, I have to chase Poppy to give her a hug, and like, don't get me wrong, I definitely will do it. She's not afraid of me. She's like standoffish, you know what I mean? Like, she's not scared. You can tell she's not scared because she comes really close to me all the time. It's just when I want to pick her up, she runs away. So it's not a scared thing, I don't think. I think she just doesn't really like me. But that's okay, I'll get her love eventually. And I touched her today without her running away. And I touched her for like a couple of times. I almost pet her. Like and then she moved just out of my reach, but she didn't leave. So food. Food is a motivator for Poppy. So that's good. Also, we only got one colorful egg yesterday. Olive laid her egg yesterday, whereas Buttercup and Violet did not lay eggs yesterday. So today we should be getting a nice rainbow of eggs coming in, which makes me happy. It's like, I feel sad that on the days when I don't get colorful eggs, but I'm not that sad because I know that that means tomorrow for sure we're going to get colorful eggs. Yeah, I mean, crumble is a national dessert, but I know what you mean depending on where it originated. Hold on. I'm Manchester, so our slang and local names are different. Interesting. Good afternoon, friends. Hello, Frida. Good afternoon. Nice to have you. I'm having trouble reading. It's too small. There we go. That's a little better. Also, apologies for the skippy low qualityness of this stream if it's starting to skip, because I'm getting told on here that it's starting to skip. Also, to those of you who have not yet liked the video, don't forget to hit the like button, because as I keep saying, it always helps the channel, and I do appreciate that. I know people from Liverpool, who get annoyed when they hear people say Beatles had Liverpool accents, as they were pretty weak ones. Liverpool. I don't have a Liverpool accent in my brain. I don't have, like, the only thing that I've got in my brain for understanding different accents is the movie about all the Beatles songs, Across the Universe. I loved that movie. I love that movie. I really love that movie. I think I want to watch that movie again. It's so pretty. I love a good movie, don't you? Well, we were all out of dog treats. Emergency trip to the pet shop. It's an emergency. Millicent required them, I understand. Anywho. Wow, Laura, you were glowing. Oh, thank you, Frida. Unless you mean like literally I'm glowing, because that's probably mostly sweat. But if you mean I'm glowing like how pregnant women glow, I'll take it. Except for I'm not pregnant, just like in general, like a healthy glow. I'm good with that. But thank you. I'm also in the sunbeam. I think I overthought that a little bit. But thank you for your compliment. Ugh. Anyway, Firdaus, welcome back. Nice to see you this morning. Haven't seen you around in a little while. How you doing? And how is everything where you're at? And don't forget to like the video. All of those things. So, what else do I have to tell you? I have other things that have happened. We went to the hardware store to get the, thank you, Maddie. We went to the, we went to the hardware store, Canadian Tire, which is actually the store where Alex and I met. Not the physical store, but like the company. He worked at Canadian Tire as a, what was your job title even?
Retail sales associate.
Retail sales associate. Okay, he basically walked around the store and pretended to be busy. And I always thought he was like this super hard worker at Canadian Tire because he was always the one that they called at the cash to do carryouts. So they would be like, Alex to front for carryout, and he would carry out heavy things for people. And first of all, carry a couple of heavy things once in front of me and I'm like, ooh, you're sexy, you can carry heavy things. I'm not a big carrier of heavy things. So he worked there and I sold credit cards at Canadian Tire, or I signed people up for credit cards at Canadian Tire. I was selling Canadian Tire credit cards, so it's not like I was like being sketchy. That's where I worked. But I traveled to multiple Canadian Tires, and then eventually I didn't like that job anymore, so I applied to Canadian Tire. I got the job the same day, which is awesome because I didn't really apply. The super pervy manager came to me, who I didn't realize was a perv at the time because I was like a child. But I dressed sexy for my job as a credit card salesman because I was trying to sell credit cards. It's like a waitress. You dress nice because you want tips. You dress nice for selling credit cards because you want people to sign up. And everybody in the hardware store is like a 50-year-old man. And now I look at that and I go like, ew, I was 18 and I was being cute for 50-year-old men to sign up for a credit card. But it doesn't matter because I used it to attract my mate in real life, like Alex. I used my cutitude to get him to flirt with me. Really awkwardly and with a Russian accent, but it's fine. He did, not me. But anyway, we met at Canadian Tire. I ended up starting to work there, and I worked at the cash, and then I was like a customer service person behind the customer service desk, and Alex was like, such a sexy worker. He was always the one that got called for the carryouts, so I saw him a lot. And honestly, we were allowed to call anybody. Like we could say like hardware for a carryout, and the hardware department would come. Alex was in sports, which is hilarious because he knows so very little about almost every sport. He didn't need to because it was Canadian Tire. But anyway, I would end up calling him, like specifically, Alex to front for a carryout, and then he would come and I'd be like, this is the thing that's being carried out, and it wouldn't even be a thing that, like, I loved it. I loved it. Oh, he was so cute, and I was so cute. I was so young, and I was so blonde. Do you remember how blonde I was? Oh my god, my hair was like, well, I guess you guys have seen it, pretty pale, but it was like blonde. Like I was a very blonde, and it was long, and Alex like was smitten. He loved my freckles and my blonde hair and my nose piercing. It was a lot of fun. And then we started dating, and then we fell in love, and then we both got in trouble when we went on a mini weekend vacation. I had the days off, but Alex didn't, and when he didn't go into work, they were like, you are gonna get fired. And then obviously he didn't because it's a hardware store. Okay, let me get back to the actual story. So we went into this Canadian Tire hardware store. Let me just follow up with, now Frida is here, we can switch to talk from Beatles to ABBA, LOL. I always confuse Australian with British. I don't. I have maybe once confused New Zealand with Australian, but I think I can hear it now. I feel like New Zealand has something else going on that I can hear. I haven't mixed British up though. Good morning everyone. Laura loved the dress, vintage feel. Thank you, Vanessa. Good morning. Okay, I think everyone flirted awkwardly at that age. No, I wasn't flirting intentionally though, right? I was trying to get, this is what they told us when I got the job. They were like, they said it's like a waitress job. You're trying to get people to sign up for a credit card. You're not taking anyone's money. You just need to convince them to give you their ID. And a lot of people don't like handing over their ID to a stranger with a clipboard. So dress the part. And when I was like, what does that mean? They were like, boys, wear a button-up shirt, dress pants, and be clean. And then I was like, what does that mean? And they were like, dress. Well, it's like a waitress, except you're trying to get their ID instead of a tip. And they wouldn't say it, but they were like, think of the getting them to sign the thing as like the tip. So like, you know, like a waitress. But the boys, it wasn't like that. It was dress in like dress pants and a dress shirt with a tie. So anyway, yeah. So I did, and I was 18, so I did what I was told, and I did it well, and I made a lot of money. But then I started feeling guilty about it because I recognized that a lot of people were signing up for credit cards because, I mean, look at me. No, I'm just kidding. But like for real, people would sign up for a credit card that they didn't need because I was cute and talking to them. You know what I'm saying? Then I got a job at Canadian Tire as a cashier. Anyway, let me tell my story. Alex and I went to Canadian Tire yesterday to pick up the spray for the raccoons, and Alex was also looking at a tool to get rid of the raccoons that wouldn't hurt them but would scare them. So we were looking, because at the hardware store there's like a hunting section, so he was looking at that. And we were also looking at getting an owl. What did Frida say? My Asperger's self is just too... My Asperger's self just too Olo what I wanted, which was a kiss. Hold on. I think everyone flirted awkwardly. Oh, you just said, Ola, I would like a kiss, please. And then he was like, cool, because I want to kiss your face. And then you guys fell in love. I was more, I can't say subtle. I was not subtle. I know that, because as soon as I had a crush on Alex, literally every day I had red lipstick on. I wore a lot of lipstick at that time though, so it wasn't like too out of character. I wore lipstick. I wore cute like 1950s housewife dresses, and he had the posture of a Greek god. Honest to God, Alex, when I first saw him, the first thing I saw was like, wow, he has the best posture I've ever seen. And I was like, is he in the military? Because he's jacked, and he has like posture, like military posture, amazing. And that was the first thing I saw. So I would go through the mirror section at Canadian Tire, because they had an aisle for mirrors, and I would walk through the mirror section to make sure I looked perfect, and I would come out from the mirror section into the sports section, and I would like do a turn like as if I was just turning the aisles, and I would actively be like, oh, you're there, hey, you're working today? Just kidding, I already asked for your schedule, I knew you were working today. Or I would come in on days where I didn't know, and I'd be dressed to impress, and then he wouldn't be there, and I'd be like, well, what's this even for? You know what I'm saying? So, hey, it all worked out. He asked me for my number, and then walked away when I said yes, and then he walked away like, oh, good, but he didn't take the number, and I was like, part of the interaction is missing. Part of the interaction is missing. And then he came back later and was like, I didn't get your number. And I was like, no, you didn't. And then I gave him my number, and guess what? We still have that paper. The paper that he gave me to write my number on, and he kept it, and now it's in our like pile of things for memory. So 9 years later, it doesn't matter how you meet your partner, if it's dorky or not, it can still be the best. So now I'll tell my freaking story that I've been putting off and blaming on you guys that it's being put off. Really, it's my ADD. Spray for raccoons, what do you mean? It's Vanessa, it's like a pest deterring spray. So I don't know exactly what's in it, because since it's not food in Canada, it's not regulated to have the ingredients on it, because it's not meant for consumption or meant for people. So there was no ingredient list. It didn't even say what the active ingredients were, which is very weird. But it's a spray that you add to like the trees and the plants, and it deters wildlife like coyotes and raccoons. So our guess, we talked about this a little earlier, is that it's probably got things like hot peppers, like mace, except not mace, but like hot pepper juice. It's probably something like that. Something that would irritate them if they eat it, that wouldn't hurt them, because it's not meant to hurt them. Because that's not what I want. I don't want them hurt, I just want them out of my backyard. So we're in Canadian Tire. We walk in with our N95 masks on. This hardware store is almost exclusively 50-year-old men. Like, really, if there were 100 people in the store, like 90 of them really would be 50-year-old men. There were probably 50 people in the store when we were in there. Maybe less than 50, maybe 30. But the lineup that we waited in was like 10 or 12 people long. And all of the people that I saw that were wearing masks were my age or younger. All of the people who were 50-year-old men were not wearing masks. And I was like, hello, you're a 50-year-old fat white man. You're the one who's not gonna make it. Like, I'm wearing a mask protecting you. You should be wearing a mask, dummy. Like, go get an N95. They're probably available here in like the auto section. So what are you doing? So that happened, and I was making loud, passive-aggressive comments like, how hard is it to wear a mask? Wow, it must be so inconvenient to wear a mask. Or, you know that more often than not, it's like 50-year-old white men that are not doing well from this. I just was making stuff up that made me feel, I don't know, like I was having any impact. You know when you do that and you're like, nobody's listening to you, but you feel like, it's just stupid though, because all of these 50 to 70-year-old white men, first of all, not social distancing at all and not wearing masks. What are you doing? So I was getting passive aggressive. So I was having like fake conversations with Alex where I was looking at him and talking to him, but I was talking loud and he was just like, wish I was there, Laura. Well, masks are mandatory in stores in Canada. No, they're not are masks not mandatory? No, they're not mandatory. However, on the big, huge what's it called? Billboard? It's not a billboard. You know the signage by the road that says what the store is? Whatever that thing's called. It has like a panel that you can insert like, welcome to Canadian Tire. It's got like a big Canadian Tire sign, and then there's like a electronic screen. And on it says, we wear masks to keep you safe. Please wear masks to keep us safe. Or like, we wear masks in the store to keep you safe. Please wear masks in the store to keep us safe. None of the 50-year-old men, what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh my God, I literally saw two men who weren't wearing masks, see each other and go, like, who didn't know each other. Alex went to the automotive section to get some spark plugs. I went to the seasonal section to see if they had an owl for putting in your garden. And I saw two 50-year-old white men go, Dave, Steve, and go to each other and go, haven't seen you in such a long time, buddy. And then they had a whole conversation, like 3 feet apart, and I was like, you're doing everything that you're not supposed to, you're doing all the things. Like, there's like 5 things. Don't go close to people, don't touch people, wear a mask, wash your hands. Like, they're not doing any of those things. Hello. And then it just made me rage. So I was like, what is happening in here? So basically, Canadian Tire, the hardware store, not the location for immunocompromised people to start their like engaging back into society. Canadian Tire, not a safe space. That's faux show. I tell you what. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ugh, I did a whole extra row. Gosh darn. Anyway. Oh yes, Jenna and Transport. Dave, how dare you? It was the first name that came to my head. I'm not gonna lie. I have like in my in my friendship circle of people that I refer to, I guess, there are like 4 Daves, 4 Dans. How many, 4 Daves, 4 Dans. What's another really common name in our friend circle, Alex? Can you hear me?
Yeah, Dan.
Dan, there's like 4 people named Dan.
Yeah.
And I always get their names mixed up with the 4 people named Dave. So I literally will call when I'm referring to them, which is frustrating because they're all friends with each other. So it's like Dave and Dave are hanging out. Dave and Dan are hanging out. Dan and Dave are dating. Like, I guess between 1987 and 1995, no, 1985 and 1985 and 1990, Dave and Dan must have been the 2 most popular names for boys because, wow, there are a lot. There's also a few Ashleys and a few Lauras in this group. So girl names that are the most common, Ashley and Laura. The boy names that are the most common, Dave and Dan. In the group of people that I will see at a party. You know what I mean? Like, they're not my friends necessarily, but if I go to a party, there's usually multiple Daves and usually multiple Dans. Not unsurprisingly, surprisingly to me. Okay, so we need to pick a pink. So sorry, Dave, I didn't mean to single you out. It's just one of the most common names in my world, so it comes up. We have a pink left, or 2 pinks. We can do both. What do you guys think? Jenna, oh yeah, public transport. I don't do public transport. I don't like people. I can only just handle taxi drivers. Laura, don't waste your money on the owl. I didn't. I had one by my pool to deter grackles from dropping poop in it, and they perched on its head. Very nice. Quality birds. Okay, well, I didn't get an owl. That's okay, I still love you. Okay, good. Okay, so the owl, we didn't buy it. It was 20 bucks. The spray was $17, and the tool for deterring raccoons, that is not a tool that I prefer to use, but Alex wanted to have one just in case coyotes came. It would not maim a raccoon. It cannot break the skin of a raccoon. Alex and I did a few tests. It won't hurt them. It'll just scare them. So we got one of those for 30 bucks, and it came with everything that it needed, and it looks like a toy, which I kind of appreciate because there were ones there that were like all black and they looked really cool, but like it really looked like the thing that we don't need to have casually. Yeah, I think you're right about the light pink. What are you making again? I missed it. Sid, I'm making a, like a headband, but pride. It's not going to be over my ears, it'll be around them. But anyway, so we ended up getting one of them, which is, you know, it's not really my thing, but it's fine because it's not one that is meant for wounding anything. It's just meant for like target practice. And also it's not meant for the handheld deterrent. Thank you, the handheld deterrent. It's not going, like we shot, I can't find another word for that. We used the tool in the direction of trees to, the pew-pew, yeah, to try and test it out. It didn't leave even a mark on, like we did it at some pallets. Didn't even leave a mark on the pallet. It broke through a leaf. So when it was aimed at a leaf, it did break through a leaf, but it didn't make any mark on bark. It didn't make any mark on pallet, and the little plastic ball bounced off. Like it was like very, you know. Jenna, do you find a lot of Uber taxi drivers are a bit awkward to chat to? Yes. And friendly, but set the agenda of the conversation and you end up politely. Yeah, totally. And you're like, oh, I didn't know we were going to talk about, I don't know you that well, but sure, let's talk about that super personal topic. Do tell me about your political beliefs. That's why I'm here in your car, to learn about your political beliefs. That happens. Or, yes, please tell me your family history. That is what I am here for. I've got 3 conversations going on Facebook, plus the chat, plus trying to work on the vest front. My brain is scattered. Yeah, much. I don't know if I can be human in 4 different places. Frida, just for fun, I'm really good at aiming. Well, I'm good at aiming. I'm fine at it. I'm good at the thing. I just don't like the idea of having one in my home because it's like a it's like a gateway handheld. You know what I'm saying? The other thing is I didn't want even the risk of it looking like a legitimate handheld device because I didn't want to have one in my home. So this one is clear plastic and it has a bright orange tip. It literally looks like a toy. It probably is a toy because it's $30 and that came with everything you need for it. So I mean, like, meh. But yeah, it's a last resort backup plan if the spray doesn't work. We also found online, well, I found online a sprinkler system that hooks up to your hose and it just takes a battery and it has a motion sensor built in. And it's like $70 and I kind of want to see if the spray will work first, you know? I had an Uber driver once who burst into song halfway through the journey. Good for them. The Uber drivers make me laugh. I've tagged favorites, so pretty much get the same drivers. The other taxis are just trying to fleece you. They blank you and go wrong way on purpose. That's frustrating. Irritating, honestly. I've had that happen with a taxi before where they took the long route home and you're like, I definitely know lots of ways that you could have gone that didn't need any of the turns that you took. It was on my way home from an airport late on Sunday night. I had to work the next day. I was tired and not in the mood for the singing. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's just like hairdressers. I mostly don't want to talk to my hairdresser at all. Like they always start asking questions that I'm like, we're not actually friends. Like I pretty much just want you to cut my hair. You know what I mean? And then it's like, so how often do you sleep with your partner? And then I'm like, what are you meaning? And then I'll say like, regular amounts. And then like weird questions like that. Weird. Very weird. I got blessed when I sold my bike. He was a priest. Ooh, that's awesome. That's fun. Also, I ordered 35 rolls of washi tape because I have no self-control. Well, Sid, I'll have the self-control for both of us because I'm not ordering any more yarn until I dye every one of those skeins that I bought from Knit Picks. I don't like G words. I have sharp pointies though and a bow. Yeah, sharp pointies are fine, but I'm not going to throw them at a raccoon. I don't want to hurt them. I don't like G words either. This one, like, I'm pretty sure you could accidentally have your own foot involved in an incident and it wouldn't break your skin. Like when I looked on the back of the it doesn't look like it's something that's meant for that. They bother me too. You mean it explodes inside and you can do it spontaneously? No thank you. This one's air powered, or it's... Alex?
Yeah?
Is it air powered?
For what?
The device we got to deter the raccoons.
Yeah, spring action.
Spring action, so it's spring action. So you do the same thing, it looks like you do the same thing as with a regular one, but there's no explosion. It's just like, blah, like just it just shoots it forward. Yeah, I assumed it'd be a pew-pew. It is indeed a pew-pew. It's a small clear plastic pew-pew with no explosion inside. That's why you should see what it does to a fruit. Oh, that's a great idea, a fruit. That's a good idea, that's a really good idea. Cool, I have an apple and a tomato. I feel like a tomato is definitely softer than a raccoon, so I'll test it on both. And I will let you know how it goes. But I'm not gonna test it in the middle of the day because it weirds me out to even be seen holding one, honest to goodness. Like Alex was opening the box in the driveway and I was like, go in the garage, I don't want people to see you holding that, yuck. And he was like, it's not even a real thing. I'm like, doesn't matter, from the road, it looks like one. Nancy, my hairdresser and I are good friends, but we don't ask personal questions. It's fine if one person brings up a topic and wants to discuss it. Yeah, my hairdresser has now been the same lady for like 5 haircuts, and she's nice. She asks questions. She's not as crazy in the questions as some of the others that I've had before. Like, I've been asked really personal, weird questions about like substance consumption and intimacy, and like they go all the way to the deep end. Like, couldn't you just be like, what do you like to do for fun? Like, why can't they just be generic questions? It's like they probably ask so many people so many questions that they're just bored and adding fun new topics in, you know what I mean? But dear Lord, I don't need it. I would love if there was a place that I could just like book online, and then when I get there, there's an iPad terminal that I can just like book it in, like, hello, I'm here. And then the only thing they would say to me is, Laura? And then I would sit down and they would have on an iPad all of the things. And if they needed to clarify, they could say, did you mean you want it to fade, blah, blah, blah? And then I could go, yep. And then they would cut my hair and they would go, what do you think? And then I would go, it's great. I don't really want socialization when I'm getting a haircut. I feel vulnerable when I'm getting my haircut because I am not in control of the blade near my face and neck. And I'm aware that they are trained professionals in that field, and I'm not worried about getting hurt. I'm worried about having my hair ruined. So I'm already thinking something else, you know what I mean? When I'm there. I'm not interested in, I have to start reducing earlier. I'm not interested in casual conversation. You want the full autistic inclusive experience. I love it. Yeah, I just don't, is that available? Can I just be like, hey, I can't claim autism. Is it plastic balls? Yes, it's plastic balls. It's a little plastic, how big are they? They're like the size of a pea, like a little green pea, and they're plastic, and they're hollow. Like, they're not a heavy thing. So they don't go far either. Like, if you aim straight, it's really quick before it goes into the ground. So it's like, it's not a big, it's not as big of a deal to me as some other pew-pew options that Alex was showing me. I feel so vulnerable. They take my glasses off. Yeah, exactly, right? I've had them be like, can you take your piercings out? And then I'm like, well, now I'm naked though. So no, I can't. I've actually said, sorry, I can't. They're stuck in there. Do you have a pair of pliers? Because mine are all put on with pliers. Okay, that's called airsoft. My brother had one in junior high. Well, yeah, when we got to the cache, I got to the cache. They brought it to the cache. They didn't just give it to us and let us walk to the cache with it, which I appreciate because it still looks like one of those things. And then when I got to the cache, they just told us our total. And I was like, aren't you going to ask for ID or something? And he was like, no. And I was like, but it's a pew-pew. And he was like, well, they brought it up, so no, I'm not asking for ID. And I was like, I have ID. And he was like, that's fine. I was like, is there an age limit? And he was like, I don't think so. No age limit? You shouldn't be allowed to buy something that you can aim at someone and hurt them. 1 and 2. I mean, probably, again, you probably can't really hurt anybody with the one that I have. I so want to see. Hold on. Well, a spring can make that much power. A spring can't make that much power. Right, right. So, yeah, I'll let you know, Frida. I'll take pictures. Anyway, yeah, so it's airsoft. I like that it's called airsoft. Do you know what the name of the version or brand? I don't even know if it was the version we got or the brand. It's called Vigilante. And I was like, I don't know. I feel like maybe that's not what you should name one of those types of things. Vigilante. Anyway. Oh my god, that's one of the reasons why I cut my own hair. I hate the small talk and the awkward silences. Totally. And then also, if you don't like something, then being like, what do you think? And being like, it's, like I've had that with my current hairdresser. Luckily, she's very nice. But I had that with my current hairdresser where she was done and it was not nearly as short as I had wanted it to be. So I was like, oh, I was hoping for like way shorter. And she literally had to do the entire cut again. And I felt bad, but like, I said how short I wanted it. Axis is Batman. That's what getting a real one is just, that's what getting a real one is like in the US. Great. That's super. Safety first, people. Regarding hairdressers, mine has long nails, and when she washes my hair, it hurts, but I don't mind the pain. She's beautiful, so the pain saves risk of any embarrassing moments, if you get my drift. Oh, God. Ew. But I often go to male barbers. I can't even imagine. That's one thing that is beneficial for not having external genitalia, I will say. You don't have to worry about accidentally telling everybody. That makes me laugh though, so sorry about your experiences, but that makes me laugh, so thank you for your pain. Depends on what sort of cut I want. Yeah, I would go to a barber, but they don't like having girls in there. And like sometimes I'm like, no, I'm looking for like a pretty gender neutral looking haircut. Like sometimes I want it to look super femme, and sometimes I want it like a mohawk that's like gender neutral. And there's only two ways that people know how to cut hair, apparently. There aren't a lot of barbers / hairdressers who are like, I understand exactly what you mean. Mostly it's like, they're gonna either give me a pixie or they're gonna shave me down to a number 2. Like they don't have the in between. My goodness, this chat goes to interesting places. Doesn't it, Nancy? Doesn't it? We are a unique group of people, and I have very little filter when it comes to the things that I say, so there's that. Sid, I stopped going to the salon after the girl who gave me a trim trash talked my undercut to my brother and his friends after. What a jerk. Also, she effed up my wedge cut and my mom had to fix it. You know what though? Wedge cuts, I used to think they were awful. Like I would see them and I'd be like, no, that's weird. It was big in Toronto. And when I worked in Ottawa, this guy came from Toronto and he had this crazy undercut wedge cut with this like sharp cut here and then like a bit of a fade and then fully bald, and I thought it was so weird, and at the time I didn't like it. And then I moved to Toronto, and I swear to God, I swear to goodness, I swear to the earth people, don't be offended, I'm not trying to be offensive, I genuinely just turned my opinion around there. Everybody in Toronto who has like a wedge cut or an undercut has such cool style that I was like, oh, it's part of a whole look. I get it. And then I shaved my head. So my dislike for the undercut world / the wedge cut world, right? She tried to blend it, didn't she, Sid? I'm thinking about it because like the wedge cut's meant to be sharp, like a bowl cut, except call it a wedge cut because that's nicer. It's meant to be, like, it's not meant to be soft and blended. The idea is that it's like a harsh cut, but it's hard to explain to someone who only does pixie cuts and 12-year-old boy haircuts. I don't blame you for being so, Sid. I was super pissed. Yeah, because it's not so hard to comb back over my head, and just make it level at the back. Yeah. Like, hello, Leonardo DiCaprio, can you just Leonardo DiCaprio my hair? Think of young Leonardo DiCaprio and do that, please. That'd be great. Heidi-ho, neighborino. V. I love that. Good morning. Oh, you look so cute, Laura. Thank you. Thank you. I'm wearing a little cute blue dress, so I feel pretty cute today. Alex said I looked cute this morning, too. Thanks for all the compliments, everyone. My self-esteem is feeling good. Appreciate that. Bad hair cutters, the worst. Oh no, it wasn't angled though enough. She flattened it out. Okay, well, now I'm unsure of which haircut I'm thinking of. The one that the cool kids in Toronto have. 1 and 2. I don't know what he would have called it. I really didn't like the guy who had it either though, to be honest. Like it probably had a lot to do with that. He was like a total skis bag. 1 and 2. I think I can say that, right? If someone's a skis bag and I don't use their name, I can call them a skis bag, right? Skis bag's not a bad word. Anywho, let me see, is that supposed to be 2? Yeah, cool. I finished the scarf thing, headband. Now, to complete the look, I think we should outline it in white. I think that would make it look cool. And the Buzz, she was scared to get up into the hairline, so there was like half an inch of longish hair left at the top. That happened to me too here. She was like cutting, and I was like, I don't want this random chunk. You can still see where she left it long, because I bleached it. I ended up bleaching it. Like, this is incorrect. This area needs to be different. Good, I'm excited to see the hair so I can understand. And also for inspiration, because it's today, our area opened up phase 2 or phase 3 or phase 1. I don't know what the phase we're at, but we have a new phase. We're at a new phase in the Rona reopening of Ontario, and hairdressers and patios opened today. Some patios in Toronto opened at midnight last night. Okay, so we've got there, see? Oh, a little bit long, so we'll have to do a bow or something. Which is fine, because everybody likes a nice bow. There, and then, hold on, let me think. I have to look in my head at what I'm doing. Wow, this is not working. Where's my pink tail? Some bobby pins or grips might help further secure it. Indeed. I think I almost got it though. So what it looks like clipped. Let's have a look. Ooh! That's kind of, I don't want to be like rude, but kind of sexy. I don't want to be like rude in the way that I describe it. I kind of love that. Ooh. If I just keep growing that, will that be what I get? I love that. That's cute. I really like your haircut. That's cool. I like it. Anyway, now I'm like, maybe I won't cut the top. I don't know. I was gonna cut all the top off. That was my plan. Not rude, thanks. Okay, good. As long as it's not, it's pretty much just don't interpret what I'm saying as rude, because I never mean to be rude. When I say things, it's usually just, most of the things I say are with good intentions. Okay, let me think. When I tie Alex's bow tie, it starts with a knot, and then you make a bow on one side, come over, and then what's the next step? Maybe I don't do that. I feel like it doesn't tie in a knot. I feel like I do one of those. I feel like I used to have a bow tie, an easy bow tie tying. Hold on. Tie a bow tie. Hold on, don't just start doing it. Jeez, Pinterest, and I didn't do it yet. Start again. Start again. Replay. Okay, so first we'll do like this. Then we'll do like this. Then we'll do like this. And then put that through. Really? That seems okay. Just bear with me a second there, friends. Oh, bye. Bye, Jenna. Have a good rest of your day. Ugh. Sorry, I have a sneeze coming. So I submitted a pattern for a pom-pom. Oh, hi, Austin. For a pattern for Pom Pom Magazine 2021 Spring Open Call submissions yesterday. That's awesome. I hope that your pattern gets in. Okay. I need to just tie a tie real quick here, so just hold the phone, everybody. The next step that she did was like this. And then this piece, where did it go up? Okay. Okay, maybe I understand. Show me one more time. I'm on Pinterest doing it. Okay, over. Good. And then you have to that doesn't seem right, Pinterest. I know that you did it, but why can't I do it? 1, 2. And we'll put you like this. And then we'll fold you up like that. And we will bring you up through where? There's nothing to bring it through. I feel like I'm going crazy. Sorry, I need to figure this out. Now that we're here, I like have to now. It's become a thing. Okay, I've got the knot. That's fine. Comfortable with that part. And then grab like a bit like that. Fine, that's fine. Okay, good. Okay. All right, maybe I'm getting it now, maybe. What is there a fly doing in here for? What? That's not even a sentence. All right, hold on, I think I got it. I think I've cracked the code. Why was that so difficult for me? How did tying a bow become a difficult endeavor? Didn't used to be a difficult endeavor. I tied Alex's bow ties a million times. Maybe not a million, but several. Green, blue, purple. Okay, so the blue is part of the problem. Yeah. Okay, we're on the right track. Sorry, everybody. I know this is like supposed to be a chatting time, but I really need to have this bow work, and it's the most important thing apparently right now. So I have to do it, or else catastrophe. Okay, I think, by George, I think I've got it! I just want it to be a pretty bow. Is that so much to ask? Jeez Louise. Maybe it's because it's crochet. It's definitely crochet, you know? It's not because I'm bad at tying bows. Couldn't be. It's just because it's a crocheted bow. It's different. Okay. Now, oops. You better fit. Ugh. Of course, I made the bow a little big, so then the headband's a little tight. Okay, no, this isn't gonna work this way. I need more room. Erg. Arg. There, that's the vibe. Here's the vibe. Well, pretend that my hair looks cute with it, but we got a cute little bow. We got a cute little headband. This will be a good makeup headband. It's a bow thing going on for Laura today. It's a bow thing. Oh, true. It is a bow thing. There we go. So headband completor. Now I feel good. And guess what? It's 9:30. So I'm gonna go. And I have half the hair to bother washing. True. I do appreciate that aspect. Although I did use shampoo on my sides today and I blow dried them down, which is why I look so cute. It's gorgeous, Laura. Thanks, Dina. So everybody, I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go make another cup of tea. I almost drank my whole cup, which is rare. It's perfect for a gorgeous lady. Thank you, Dina. Very nice. Thank you, Nancy. So there's my pride headband. Maybe I'll be wearing it this afternoon because I think that'll be fun. And then maybe I can just do a necktie thing. But anyway, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna make some tea. I'm gonna go check my chickens, see how they're doing, get them some vegetation because they like to have lettuce in the morning. And then I'm going to get on to filming and editing. So big love to all. Stay safe and well as you. I'm Yoda today. You as well, Dave. Have a great rest of your day, guys. I'll see you at 4 p.m. Eastern time for another chit chat hangout. And I love you guys. Drink water. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way out. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe. And what's the last thing? Thank you to my June patrons, Crystal, Susan, Lori, Teresa, Abigail, Barbara, Anna, and to my new July patron, Dave on a Rave. Thank you for joining the Patreon group. And thank you for supporting me. All right, guys. Have a great rest of your day. See you at 4. Love you. Bye.